so we're gonna do a reading. I'm gonna do a reading. You do what you do. I'm not your mom. My face is peeling, so if you see that, just no, you don't. Okay. I like reverse tan where I burn and then I peel and then I tan. Rolling in the Deep by Adele. Particularly the part where she's like, you're gonna wish you never had married me. There's been this recent energy of energetic chaos in terms of whatever you believe in, but in terms of spiritual warfare. So however that shows up for you, there's a recognition of who you are, of what you know, of what you offer to the world. And there is an energy that is uncomfortable with that. There's also this energy of you are so you in a way that is energetically you are one of the big dogs, you know, like if we're talking about elements and like levels to it, while most people consider you to be like a low level whatever it is because of your earthly circumstances, they don't see that your energy is that of like Jesus and Buddha, you know, like your energy is something so profound. And because there's no recognition of that energy outside of, you know, the awareness that people have, people often diminish that within you. You've got the Fool, Temperance, and the Wheel of Fortune reversed with the King of Swords. This is the same idea of like no weapon formed against me will prosper or has prospered. This idea of sovereignty. This card always reminds me of like sovereignty, of like I control all the elements of my life. You know, like there's no element of all of the hands that are in my life are my own. My nose is peeling and I can like see it out of the corner of my eye. But it is like this idea of like shedding skin, of like snakes, of becoming this idea of like you're a gardener snake or a garden snake. That's yes. Right now I'm doing a reading, okay? Give me a second. There's a sense of like you shedding some like again, I've done this before, like a shark is only as big as its surroundings, or this idea of like you're only as big as you allow yourself to be, or other people allow you to be, and you are becoming like a garden snake that's shedding its skin into like a giant kind of python, or like something so profound that like when it like, and I don't know, snakes stand up, but like when it stands up, it's like as tall as a full-grown human. It's something that's so profoundly you know, sizable in terms of its authenticity. The Fool and Temperance talking about a leap of faith, taking a leap of faith to do something, taking a leap of faith to be something, to be yourself. And then the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Swords both coming out reversed is this idea that like there's no cycles in which that your harm, the Three of Cups coming out talking about gossip, this idea that there's no harm that can come to you. The King of Swords, yes, it is clear, precise, and all these different stuff, but confirming the energy. Again, there's people that read tarot and there's people that read energy, so I read the energy. With this energy, the King of Swords is showing up as somebody that is I was thinking Hydra before. This is like what, a phoenix? Not a phoenix. What is that element? What is that? Okay, maybe that griffin? Griffin, is that what it's called? The lion bird. But this idea of there's been a lot of rising Leo, a lot of rising lion energy, which is fire energy, which is associated, you know, it makes sense that, my nail is dirty. Anywho, but it would make sense that the Phoenix came to mind. So this like Hydra Phoenix kind of mix. With this Three of Cups reversed with the Knight of Swords, it's basically this idea of like, I can defend anything, or I can outrun any of the, what's it called? Any of the weapons, any of the gossip, any of the, things against me in a way that, there's a lot of swords energy here. So it's definitely action based. The Knight of Swords followed by the Hangman and the Page of Swords. So we've got the King, the Knight, and the Page. So it's definitely something that, you're able to, and I don't want to say run away, but you're able to like so easily maneuver. I'm thinking of the scene, what did I say with the sun? The scene in Everything, not Everything, maybe that's relevant. This idea of being enclosed and somebody enclosing you. There's also been a lot of talk about maternal blockages and like a mother figure who has been, guarding you from your power, which is the scene, the whole concept of the movie Everything, where this girl was like, she's like, you're sick, and really it was just like their mom was traumatized. And it could be something that's intentional, where the mom recognizes your power, or a maternal figure recognizes your power and doesn't want you to step into it, or something that is trauma filled, where she also experienced this from her mother, and this is a generational curse, hence the Wheel of Fortune coming out in reverse, breaking that cycle, breaking that conclusion, So it's this idea that in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, there's a scene in the very beginning where there's the police are involved. She's, fighting the police, really, is what it's happening. And her mom is like, no, like, don't do that, though. And because this character has the ability to bend reality at their will, like the police, pew pew, shoots her, and she's like, oh well, that never really happened, so see, it's just catch up. And like this idea of like you very like snake-like, and not snake as in the energy, snake as in the movement, very fluid in your ability to kind of weave through other people's weapons. So if you're thinking of like, this is all connected to it, like Neo in the Matrix, where he's like, like you're very fluid with it. It's not gonna it's not gonna attack you. There's also, with this Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords, it's this energy of this is the way that I'm seeing it. You're going towards people that are You're going towards people that are experiencing the same things. So I don't know, freedom fighters came into my mind. I don't know why that's significant, but this idea that you are running towards like people that have experienced the same thing. So finally getting into the idea of like soul family and things of that nature. But then also, when I originally saw this, I was thinking of tracking. So like people are trying to like track you down, and I don't know if that's just a positive or negative thing, but with the Hangman coming reversed, I feel like you're picking up on this energy of somebody trying to find you, and because you're breaking out of fear-based cycles, you're like, oh, they're trying to find me. Instead, you're being like, oh, my people are trying to find me, not your people. Oh, confirmation burp. With the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, absolutely. So it's basically like, yes, people are trying to find you. You need to be seen. And you're stepping out of this idea that the wrong people are trying to find you. You have to, or I don't know if you have to, or you're stepping into this, but you're stepping into the idea that like there is an energy of somebody looking for you. And when you first maybe felt this energy, you were scared, especially, which makes sense in terms of like political things and all these different things of like, why are they looking for me? Why are they looking at me? What did I do wrong? Blase, blase, blase. Confirmation, yeah. The Devil and the Hermit at the bottom of the deck, with the Ten of Swords at the bottom, at the other side of the deck. This is the energy that you've been embodying, living in fear of like, there's somebody coming after me, so I'll be all like by myself, because the harm that they could cause me is something that I don't want to face. But all of this is perceived fear. There is somebody looking for you, but it's not negative. It's not something for you to fear. It's not something... Chariot. And that came out reversed in the deck like this. So it was very highlighted. There is somebody looking for you, but it's also like, I was hearing like leading you to greener pastures. Like there's somebody that's looking for you to be able to release you from these fears and not, grow into them. Yeah, this idea of like, oh my god, my nails dirty. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my nails are so dirty. I don't even have nails right now because I got anxious and like bit them all off and bit them way too short. That's why, you know, anxiety. But yeah, this element of like you're hiding and they're coming to get you. Like you're hiding, you're in this cave and you're like, I have all these wounds, I have all this da 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 da, but they're like, no, like you need to step out. But you're in this energy because you feel the fear. Maybe you're embodying other people's fear, and maybe that's what's going on, is that like you're taking on other people's fear in this sense. Okay, 4 of Cups reversed. Okay, there's a fear of missing out. There's a fear that you won't step out in time. I'm getting this very much stranded energy of you being stranded and trying to send an SOS message. And this fear that if you don't send the SOS message by the time the, you know, the helicopter or whatever, you know, flies off, or flies over your island, then you'll never be found. This idea of like helplessness, which with the Nine of Wands is like this, you know, like giving up. Two of Cups with the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. This is, okay, the Empress at the bottom of the deck with the Six of Cups. There is something in your past that is being asked to be healed. That's portrayed by roses. There's a lot of flora elements here. But there's this element of just heard my stomach growl, and I don't know, it didn't feel like my stomach, but I heard a stomach growl. Solar plexus. This idea of I was thinking velvet, like the texture of roses. I have roses, so I was thinking about how they feel, and like the velvety, the softness of, you know, I'm thinking back now, I got a lot of mosquito bites yesterday and somebody recommended a product called Skin So Soft. There's this idea of like having soft skin, like you've been conditioned to be so hard and this and this and that. Maybe you're being called to like more, when I say greener pastures, maybe that's literally like, that's a very literal term of like greener pastures, of like farming and a very agricultural kind of idea. But there is this Two of Cups, King of Cups, and Ace of Cups, very much fulfillment. There is somebody that is looking to offer that fulfillment to you in a way that is reciprocal. The Two of Cups is the you pour into me, I pour into you energy. This idea of reciprocated fulfillment. But there is this element that with the King of Cups, that is a masculine energy, that they are not somebody that is willing to, yeah, look at the snake. I'm thinking back to my weaving pattern. They too are in, maybe it's one person, maybe it's not like a group of people or in soul family, but one person. Anywho, point being is that like they too have been, you know, are dodging bullets, and maybe it is either you are fire energy and they're water energy, because the first thing I saw was fire and water, but it also could be a lot of air energy where you felt like outside of your element, where if you are a fire element kind of embodiment, that you were stuck in the air because you felt that being grounded, being in that earth energy was something that you know, like I'm thinking of like fires. Fires are connected with ground energy, and air is connected with water energy, because there's oxygen in air, and fires don't start in the middle of the sky. You know, like they're usually grounded. They usually grab onto something. They need a grounded space to grow, right? But this idea that like you are the direct opposite of this person or this energy, and that's why it balances out so well, especially with the Two of Cups, because there's also gold and silver are significant here, in terms of energetically, you know, thinking of I'm thinking of like the periodic table. I'm not sure what the numbers are. Maybe the numbers or the periodic table might be significant in terms of gold and silver. Thinking of the two elements of recognition in terms of jewelry, that the most common, commonly made elements of. I'm also seeing the silver on my shirt through my reflection. It's like really staring back at me. But this idea of like gold and silver, and maybe that's something that might have some significance. But this is something that, like you're not, I'm seeing this element of, right, exactly. That's exactly what I would have said. And there's your phoenix. You okay? Yeah. Did you bonk your head? Yeah. You gotta put the pillow up before you slam your head down. But with this 5 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles following us down, there's this element of receiving your blessings and then not having the support to maintain it. And I think that that's what's holding you back, is this element of like, this is like a church windows, right? And you being left out in the cold. But what I'm seeing is that like you'll get your blessings, and this might be like a repetitive cycle, but like you'll get your blessing and you'll be like, oh my God, this is everything I've ever wanted for that time. Like not ever, but for that time, like this is what I wanted for me, for my life right now. And then something will happen where you will somehow be ostracized from your dreams. So you need to be able to let that go, because there is opportunities with the 7 of Pentacles. There is opportunities for growth if you allow them to be. But because this is the element of, eggs in baskets. And I've been saying this a lot, like don't put your eggs in 100 different baskets. Like focus on what you want to manifest. If you put an egg in the basket of this energy, then this energy now exists in your life and then has the possibility to then grow. And the more eggs that you put in whatever baskets you want, then, I'm thinking of like scales of justice. Then that's the energy that, will become, interesting. So I got the 10 of Cups and then the Queen of Pentacles, but they came out reversed. I'm not sure I want to take them as reversed though. It came out kind of like, look at this. So the way that I'm seeing this now, again with the snake energy that's being confirmed multiple times now, is that you are Eve, right, with this fruit of your labors, and other people will then now trying to embody you. They were like, oh, you have this fluidity, you have this snake fluidity, I will embody that snake fluidity. But because it is in you and not on you, when they try to embody it, they embody the snake energy. And you, because you are not a snake, you are just fluid in your embodiment as you. If that makes sense, that makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know how else to explain that. They have now attached themselves to something that they don't understand, because they thought they knew who you were. And by that point, you've already, created a life with, whatever elements that you want to, in a way that is fulfilling to you, where, thinking of like Ariel, the Little Mermaid, I don't know if Halle and DDG and their story is prevalent here, but that's exactly what I'm thinking of this element of like multicultural, multiracial, this element of, things that you don't understand. Like this man couldn't understand the elements, the depths of the sea, but it's also, again, furthering that water and fire energy, coming back into the elements of the air behind them and the ground that they're sitting on. So like really connecting all the elements of that as well. There was a bird that just really caught my attention. But yeah, ascending, that's really what I saw. It just really came like straight up out of nowhere. Anyhow, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. 19:19 on the clock.